Welcome back to the Reconstruction unit. Section 3 is Reconstruction ends. Let's find out what happens at the end of the Reconstruction era. Let's look at some vocabulary that is pertinent to the section. Jim Crow laws, maybe you've heard of those before. Poll tax, literacy test, grandfather clause, those can all be kind of grouped together, and we'll see why. And a big one, Compromise of 1877. The Compromise of 1877 is what brings Reconstruction to an end. So what happened with the election of 1876? There's a big graphic here for you to dive into. On the left-hand side, you see the closeness of the vote. You see the lopsidedness in what happens with the vote in the South. On the right-hand side, you see a very specific outline of what the controversy was. But let me break it down for you. Without viewing that, first of all, in the election of 1876, there's a controversy, and there are some contested states, and all of those states, all of the contested states are in the South. It's a close election, and all the contested states are in the ex-Confederacy, okay, in Louisiana, Florida, and South Carolina. So what to do? How to settle this controversy? Well, a compromise is reached. The Compromise of 1877. Republicans and Democrats both settle on this. So what actually goes down with this compromise? The big, easy thing to take away from the compromise is that the South and the Democrats are going to recognize Rutherford B. Hayes as the next president. Rutherford B. Hayes is the Republican that's running, so it's another Republican president. The South will recognize Hayes as their president. But what comes along with that is federal troops are going to be pulled out of the South. Some troops had already been pulled out of the South, but keep in mind what troops are doing in the South to begin with. That was the military reconstruction decided upon in 1867. So with the pulling of these troops out, that is the formal end of Reconstruction. Reconstruction is done. Additionally, Hayes will provide political positions to Southerners in office. And then additionally, Hayes will provide federal money for the Transcontinental Railroad going through the South. What's not mentioned yet, and is an indirect consequence of the military and federal troops leaving, is those troops that were in the South are protecting the troops in the South are protecting Black people from the violence of white Southerners and the KKK, etc. So the protection they have received is now gone, which opens up the South to many more problems along those lines, including the rise of Jim Crow and more black codes. Looking at Reconstruction on the whole, this is kind of a timeline here, but some things that do happen, some main bullet points. Number one, the Union is restored. The United States at this time is whole again. There has not been a civil war since, so the Union is back together. African Americans, when it comes to their rights on paper, they gain citizenship, they gain voting rights. But as we find out, or as you might already be able to guess, that is pretty limited or it is going to be only more limited come the end of Reconstruction. The South's economy and infrastructure are improved. These were major question marks, considering the fact that slavery was so important to their way of life and to their economy. Now that has been taken care of through sharecropping and tenant farming, so on and so forth, along with the North investing in the infrastructure in the South, such as railroads. The South establishes a public school system. We mentioned that it is limited at this time due to the value of education is not quite there, along with the fact that the South is very agricultural. So kids are known for working on the farms that they grow up on. And then the KKK experiences its rise come the end of Reconstruction. The KKK is not needed as much, and it really, for the most part, it really goes away, but it has been established and it will experience another rise in the 19 teens, 1920s. And then I already mentioned sharecropping, and that system takes hold in the South. That's it for this video. There's one more video on Reconstruction. We'll address that another day. Have a good one.